All right, everyone. It is Friday morning, and you know what? Well, Friday afternoon on the East Coast. For me, it's Friday morning on the West Coast, but we are excited today because it's Friday, and you know what that means? It's time for manufacturing e-commerce success. And wow, the first word in our show name, manufacturing. We are here on Manufacturing Day. Curt Anderson, could you be more excited for our guest here today with
Dude,
Carroll Thomas? I can't even talk, dude. I was ready to go live and I didn't even know I had to push the button a minute ago.
so David, Carol's not going to come back on because I don't know if last time remember what. So I went back and like replayed some of the. I was so.
Gosh.
I go, Damon. I go, we've done this like what 300 times, and like I'm actually nervous because it's Manufacturing Day. We have the queen of manufacturing is on the program today. So we got Carroll Thomas. Carroll, happy Friday. Happy Manufacturing Day. How are you, my friend?
Fine. Thank you. Happy Manufacturing Day. Listen, if you all have a chance, go visit a plant today. Visit a plant. And if you are in California and you're over there, I think it's Bakersfield, California, visit the Jelly Belly plant. It is the end all plants. No, but seriously, there's plants all over this country. Go visit one today. Please go visit one. Tell them how much you appreciate what they're doing for this country and that you're a supporter of manufacturing. So there you go.
All right. Well, hey, what a great way to kick. It's like a celebration. It's a holiday. Hey, we've got Whitney Houston here today. So, David, go ahead and pull her up. So,
Happy
there we
Manufacturing
go. Happy
Day,
Manufacturing Day.
Got Ahmed.
Ahmed is here. So, guys, drop us a note. Let us know you're out there. You absolutely want to connect with Carroll Thomas. This is, boy, we're going to have a ton to unpack. Now, Carroll, I don't know if, do you remember my first question last time? I'm not going to ask the same question. My first question, I asked who your hero was, and it was Mr. Alvin. It was Mr. Alvin. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So just share with the folks who is Alvin? Who's this Alvin that I'm referring to that is the hero of Carroll Thomas?
Oh, he's my dad.
He's your dad. That's a great answer. So
he's a girl dad, just like you, Curt.
That's right. Hey, Damon and I are big girl dads, and we love that answer. So we're not going to go there. We're going to slide into something different. But just, for folks that missed it last time, boy, go back and catch our last interview with Carroll. It was a blockbuster. We took a deep dive into her background. So we're going to scratch the surface today. Carroll, I'm going to kind of like get people where you were, but boy, we're going to do a deep dive, and it's a celebration for Manufacturing Day. And guys, drop those notes in there. Let us know that you're out there. Boy, we got John here. Hey, Nancy is here today.
Got Nancy. We got Muhammad. We got Nancy. We got John Shrikar, Titania Engineering. Woo! We're just rocking this chat, people. Let's keep it going.
And you know what? We might do this a couple of times. I want to give a shout out to Nancy. So, Carroll, Nancy O'Leary, she and I, we were together at the Buffalo MEP conference. We did a little jam session together on stage. And she is a fierce advocate for U.S. manufacturing. She's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, Damon. And she's doing a really cool program called Manufacturing Mavericks, where she is celebrating. She's celebrating Gen Zers that are just pursuing a career. And she said, hey, they've got to be 22 and under. So, Damon, they're not our age, right? They're not. We won't go. They're just a little bit younger than us. But anyway, they're doing an amazing job. So connect with Nancy O'Leary on LinkedIn. Follow Manufacturing.
You go, Nancy.
So, Nancy, thank you, girlfriend. We love what you're doing there.
Yes. And remember, Nancy, you're going to share some of those people with us so we can announce them here during Manufacturing Month as well, because we want to push that as far and as wide as we can.
Absolutely. She's coming on at the end of the month. And so we're going to reflect back on some of these young folks that she's celebrating. So, Nancy, thank you for what you're doing. Again, guys, drop us a note. Let us know you're out there. We got Carroll Thomas. So, Carroll, you took a very traditional career path, okay? National Gallery of Art to QVC to NIST MEP to, I think, Department of somebody in between there. You did the SBDC, Small Business Development Center. Then you became the director of the MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership. Can you just walk us through your path, take everybody through your career journey a little bit, and then we're going to do a deep dive into manufacturing and the MEP network.
Okay, I'm not going to go too deep in it, but I do want to start off, really serious about this. you know how you fall in love with something, and maybe you've tasted that chocolate ripple ice cream for the first time, or you've had that Oreo cookie box sitting there waiting for you. I fell deep in love with manufacturing. And then I realized part of it had to do, if we go way, way, way back, I had one of my grandparents had a bakery, the bakery, the largest bakery in the country and this country was the country of Belize. It used to be British Honduras.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning with him with this huge oven that he had shipped there from England to make bread and with all of the guys and I didn't realize how much I had missed that and how much it was a part of my growing up and I really when I got back into manufacturing with QVC I said wow I this is where I need to be. And when I heard about the program, the Manufacturing Extension Partnership Program, which I used, uh, worked with them to help some of those manufacturers to get their products on QVC so they could get the prices down, so they could do the assaying for the silver or whatever it is they were using to make. I said, this is a special program. This touches exactly where I am. And I got into it, I would say, a little later than I would have loved to if I had known about it. Because I too had, in my 20s, had decided, oh, I'm going to be a manufacturer. I'm going to make some things. And at the time there wasn't MEP and I really could have used their help. So when I found them, I found my place to be. And it's been a part, even when I was over at SBA, I still kept in touch with the MEP, keep in touch with all the people, the incredible people in all of the MEP centers across the country who, you know, a, a lot of time are unsung heroes. You don't hear what they do when they go into a manufacturer, say after a hurricane, and all of their equipment is underwater, and they don't know what to do. How do I fix this? How do I get back into manufacturing? How do I, serve my clients? I'm part of this supply chain. I need to do my part to get in. This is where they come in and, are there to hold their hands, there to say, okay, here are the resources out there for you, and just commiserate with them as they go through something, and then teach them how to be resilient so it won't happen again. And so there's at least 1,400 saints across this country, and they're all in manufacturing. And I don't know if that speaks to um, what I feel about it. But I can tell you, there's no greater trip visit or than to visit a plant, see people, talk to them, see their pride in what they make, see how they make it. I mean, some of the machines in manufacturing plants, well, of course, you don't see anywhere. And, some of you may have, if you're old enough, have seen the old I Love Lucy show, and she's in the candy factory and trying to, help with the processing of the chocolates and what happens there. Look at that machine. That was what, back in the, I don't know, 50s?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Look at that machine that they were using in processing those candies. Conveyor belt. I met a guy who actually makes conveyor belts. He has a
Mhm.
company in Florida. And I said, You do? I mean, you make machines for manufacturing plants?" He said, "Yes." And so, I know this is all round robin, but it speaks to all of the different avenues that I've had the opportunity to get in and to really learn about the industry and to love it.
It's like the birds are singing. The birds are singing. The birds are singing. That's all that's
Angels or
happening right now, man.
trumpets are playing
Birds
right
are
now,
singing.
Damon. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, Carroll, if you remember last time, I do like those little mic drop moments, but then when it gets really juicy, we call it like that moment of silence. We're like, we just want to savor
Yes.
Like Damon and I, we don't want to break that flow, So, all right. So Damon, we've got a lot of friends here. Again, guys, we are here with the one and only Carroll Thomas. You want to pull let's get a few comments.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up a couple comments here because we got some more people that are stopping by. Thanks so much for dropping in your comments and everything. And then I want to drop what Whitney put in here because I think this is one of the cool things that's happening in manufacturing now.
Yes.
The diversity that's happening is awesome. And it's been needed for many, many decades. But it finally feels like we're gaining some momentum. Women in manufacturing,
absolutely,
just getting more diverse across the board because we can't develop the best solutions if we don't keep the diversity, getting better and doing that things because we are never going to be a low cost supplier in the US, but we can be the best.
We can be the best. And we can be the best because in being diverse, we get the perspectives from all different kinds.
Yes.
You've got a mom who makes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for their kids, and they know how to set it up so it's it's a little conveyor belt themselves at home. You can do this in a factory. You can do this in a plant. You can think about better ways of doing it. So Whitney, yes, Women in Manufacturing Texas, thank you so much for arranging all of the plant tours. And all of you all across the country, thank you very much for bringing it to people's minds, arranging those plant tours, bringing the students in from colleges, from high schools, from junior highs, from elementary, to understand this, to see this, to have pride in what they do. Out there in Pennsylvania, they have some of this, but even more in February. What's so cool about manufacturing? I mean, yeah, I mean, this is huge. They go crazy. It's like a big football game or a big basketball game. Everybody's cheering folks on and watching how they are, making things and finding out what is so cool about manufacturing. I mean, it is loads of fun. It is loads of fun. And it's hard for me to pick any place around the country because it's happening everywhere. We get upwards of 400,000 people, participating throughout the month of October in Manufacturing Day, Manufacturing Week, Manufacturing Month. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And I want to thank both Damon and Curt, what you all do to bring this to everybody. I mean, this is very special. I mean, what you all do, really, really, really special. And I hear about it from other people who are saying, "Hey, did you see so and so on?" Yes, I did. I mean, yeah, Sarah, truly. And so when you ask me to be on, hey, I'm all yours.
Well, we love it, Carroll.
Yeah, we love having you. But look at this. Look at this from Kathy.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Doing girls in manufacturing and many. Let me read that real quick, because Damon, we're going podcast, so we are going audio. So for our friends in audio, let's share. We are doing girls in manufacturing in many school districts. This is our friend Kathy McIntyre in California. Amazing what they are doing. One new client is a 14-year-old making protective sport equipment for girls.
Yes.
And Kathy, drop the mic to you, my friend.
Yeah. And then another one too. Even though Matt Goosey is a Packers fan, we'll let him go by with that. I can appreciate that. But Matt has been doing one. I think his dad started this with helping people get into young people in high school get into machining, and now what he's doing is amazing in Wisconsin. They're helping people do that. It's so incredible because I'll tell you, there are so many kids that don't get exposed to this, and I'll get up on this again. My son's 24 years old. He graduated with a bunch of people that didn't go to college, and those people did not take advantage of manufacturing. And I'm going to tell you, I talk to them about it every time because there are wonderful careers for people that you can go to college and go into manufacturing. You can not go into college. You can go into a tech program and go into manufacturing, but there are careers in manufacturing
that you
can't. And,
And I want to give a shout out to a very special place in Missouri, Rankin Technical College. Let me tell you about Rankin Technical College. I got to speak. I was the graduation speaker for them a few years back. Yes, and I got to address 900 graduates. Okay, in all different parts of manufacturing. There were women who were in making machines, and men, and folks who were older coming back to school, getting certificates, and what have you. Every one of those 900 graduates had at least one job offer, and most of them had two. So if if you're trying to figure out, okay, what should I do? I'm not sure. Just try it. Try it. Guarantee you will go through and find the place that you like. It doesn't have to even be on the shop floor. It could be, if you're great in computer science, they need. I heard something the other day. I'd never heard about this before. They're called cyber bombs. So build the materials where it's the recipe for making whatever it is you're manufacturing. Well, now they need them digitally, and so that when you come up as if you're the person making whatever it is, you can now see your recipe, and when you do the next step in your production, visually in a iPad or in something, yes, a tablet or something like that. Cyber bombs. I'm like, oh my gosh, who had ever heard of this before? And it's wonderful. Find a place, and if you're not into it, if you're excited about it like I am, tell people about manufacturing to get into it. Really good jobs. Really, in fact, I don't know if I had told you, Curt. I went to school for design at Drexel. One person in my class went into manufacturing, and I'll never forget her, Tanya Lyle. Tanya Lyle was the only person that went into manufacturing, and she's doing better than any of us. Any of us said. So, I mean, I was like, oh, why didn't I go into manufacturing? I went to Drexel. I could have, Well, I did. I eventually had my own manufacturing business, but there wasn't an MEP, and so that's why I don't still have my manufacturing business.
Wow.
And you know what? These are such a great resource.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Such a great resource. And Kathy did another good point here. Let's get that up here. The community college. Look at this. People 60 and over. These are young people that can do this well before they're out of high school. Same thing with Matt there in Wisconsin. There's these programs across the United States where they can get exposed to it. They can figure out what they want, and look at what she says right at the end, earning near six figures from high school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You remember my story about what's his name? In Indianapolis, Kaplan. He used to stalk the local high school for students to come and do, internships. He would get them to come over, and this is in high school, and then they would do a couple of summers. When they were ready to go to college, he would have them come in and work for him. And as they learned different machines, they got raises, and he paid for their college. These people, under 25, making $125,000 a year. And that was 5 years ago. Okay. 5 years ago. And so I said, Stu, you cannot stalk high school students, please, because I will hear about you on the news. What you need to do is don't talk to the principal and say, here's what you'd like to do. But he still go to the cafeteria and find these, I was like,
who's the weird person in the cafeteria?
Right.
He's the guy that's handing out, 6-figure jobs. That's what it is.
Right.
it becomes less stockish real quick as soon as people figure that one out, right?
Right,
So,
and not as drug dealers, as manufacturers.
Yeah, good. As positive
so
influence.
Let's go here, Carol. So I know we've got a couple videos that we want to show. Why don't we jump in? Why don't we show the first one? Because like sometimes people might have a call at the top of the hour. Why don't we dive in? So again, guys, if you just joined us, we are here with the one, the only Carroll Thomas. And so we're talking about the manufacturing extension partnerships. We are celebrating Manufacturing Day, which is, hey, we're just going on all month. But so, hey, Damon, talk to me. I've got the screen pulled up. We're going to
got it. We
got impact of manufacturing. All right, everybody sit back, grab your popcorn, and here we go.
It's something else to make it real. To draw out a design, to test the concept, to build something that works. To put it in a box to ship all around the globe. Innovating, designing, producing, supplying, exporting. Making the products that enrich our lives, that create millions of American jobs, that drive our economy, that impact the world every single day. That's U.S. manufacturing, and that's why we are here. Since 1988, our mission has been to serve and support the men and women of U.S. manufacturing. Our team lives out this mission with passion and dedication. We work with those who are eager to innovate and grow, who want to find the solutions, the technologies, and the skills to become more competitive all around the world, proudly stating, this was made in the USA. We are the MEP National Network, the only public-private partnership dedicated to serving small and medium-sized U.S. manufacturers in every state and in Puerto Rico. We help make an impact on their employees, their companies, and their communities. Be a part of making an impact on U.S. manufacturing.
All right. Well,
that's awesome.
Hey, and I recognize a few people. Like Summer was in there, and I know Summer is a huge fan of yours, Carol.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh my gosh. And me of her. Absolutely.
It's a mutual. And Melissa Bassa, I thought I recognized Melissa Bassa from IMEC in there. So that was just what a great video. I absolutely love that. So for folks that let's dive into the MEP network. And again, this is somebody that had, again, go back and catch the last interview with Carol. You had an illustrious career with QVC. You described like
infamous.
You're flying
infamous.
You're flying first class all over the place. You had, Barry Diller, that was a fan of mine in the 90s. And like, you took a deep dive. You left that and just really found your calling. I love how you're sharing, you found your passion. So for folks that are new to the MEP network, they're like, I know we would be here all day, but just share just some of how the MEP makes the world a better place. You mentioned 1,400 saints. Let's dig into the MEP a little bit for everybody.
Okay. 35 years ago, in August of this year, 35 years, the National Bureau of Standards became the National Institute of Standards and Technology. And with that, as part of the legislation for the program, the MEP started as an organized group of professionals in a public-private partnership where the private part provides assistance to manufacturers. Now, there were 3 original MEP centers. These were organizations that were already providing assistance to manufacturers. And the idea was to take these successful organizations and make them into a national program that had that across the country would be able to provide assistance to manufacturers. And so, and if, I probably get this wrong, but I believe it's Michigan, South Carolina, and I can never remember the last name. One, I think it's Pennsylvania, were the first 3. Probably wrong, but by 1998. All across the country, all the states and Puerto Rico had at least one MEP center. Back in like 2015, we recompeted to make sure that we had the strongest organizations locally to deliver services to MEP centers. And that's when we made it one in each state. Some of the states before it had several different ones. This just made it easier because the idea is this was public-private, not just public at the federal level, but public at the state level, and even the municipal level. I mean, when thinking about like Chicago and whatever, those kinds of places, where they wanted to really support and grow and expand the manufacturers that were in their base, and what they did over the course of this 35 years is to take companies that were, may have been past DoD suppliers, whereas there wasn't any war during a period of time, and DoD didn't need these suppliers, and they were starting to falter and go out of business. To help them to pivot and to go into other areas, to find some of the practices, some of their production practices, what else they could make, out of it. Also during a period where there was this early on period in the 70s, I remember, or in the 60s, where everything was made in Japan. So well we could make things too. We had been making things, and so this is now taking the manufacturers, which mostly are small. A lot of people think it's a whole lot of very large manufacturers. I mean, manufacturers over 500 employees, which if they're under, that's considered small. If they're over, that's large. There may be about 4,400 total. And all of the rest of the manufacturers are medium and small. So they have 500 or less. And most of them, 75%, are like 25 employees or less. So you'll find, very small shops that can be suppliers, as well as they will do a full product. They can be an original equipment manufacturer. They can be that's what's considered a large manufacturer, or they can be a processor from the natural materials to pieces, parts, components. There are so many different things. People, when they think of manufacturing, they think of steel mills, pouring. They think of metal stampers. They think of people making one little widget at a time. But if you went out and got to see all of the different types of manufacturing that are out there, like I told you the last time, going to the onion ring factory, where you cry for the first 15 minutes because of what's in the air, or you go to, as I said, the Jelly Belly manufacturer, but it takes 7 days to make a Jelly Belly, but that's because of all of the flavoring and everything that they put into it. I mean, it is really, there's all kinds of things. I've seen cardboard made. I've seen street signs made. I've seen hats made. I've seen medical device molds made. I mean, it's just everything, everything. And I try to think, why can't I think of something to make? But all this stuff, everybody's making everything. Ball bearings. I mean, literally cough drops and shoelaces. Shoelaces. That's one of the most, very different types of manufacturing. There's a company in Rhode Island that will make shoelaces for Timberland shoes, that uses the equipment that was made 80, 90 years ago. And they still can twist and tie to make the and then in Rhode Island, oh my gosh, one of my favorite Chemart, they make holiday ornaments, those beautiful intricate cut little trees and scenery and stuff. They make, I mean, listen, I hate to mention names of companies, because there's so many that I love to mention, and the people that work there are just, That's another thing with the MEP. They work with not only the owners of these companies, because they definitely work with the owners, but they work with the people who supply those companies. They work with the people on the plant floor. Um, they will work with their logistics people. They'll work with their competitors. They'll work with their, complementary manufacturing processes. They work with their original equipment manufacturers, their customers. They will work with their customers to help them too. And so it is. It's like it's a system. I mean, and we call it a network because now we're working together. But originally, it was developed from a system of manufacturing across the country, and I truly believe when you think about agriculture being about 3% of the GDP, and you think about manufacturing being about 8 or 9% of the GDP, far less is out there to support what's happening in manufacturing than what's going on in agriculture. And it's not that I don't think agriculture is important, but I think, if we really thought about what we got out of manufacturing, we would put more into manufacturing, and we would really understand it, and support it in the way that it needs to be supported to keep us a preeminent country. I mean, this is our not just things for us to buy, but things for our security. To keep the country safe, to keep us from being, or if we have to be in a war, for fighting it. I mean, I can't express to you the importance of what this does for our country, and having the passion in it allows me to get all of my public servants part of me, which is a very large part of me, throughout my family. Generations throughout my family have supported, what our country does.
Yeah.
I know. I get really.
We're just savoring.
It's great. It's great.
We're just savoring that, Carroll. That was, man,
Yeah.
preach, Carroll, preach.
Yeah.
That was absolutely fantastic. So, combination things that I want to uncover right there. So, first off, just the enthusiasm and the excitement, and again, like, I'm old enough to remember, like, in the 80s, there was actually, government promotions of like discouraging manufacturing, almost like shaming people about manufacturing, which was, whatever. We can't go back and change the past, but it was very unfortunate. And so we've just seen a very steady decline. It was, looked down upon, so on and so forth. Carroll, we're here talking with Carroll Thomas. We're digging deep into the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. I mean, now the MEP, we were just at the national conference. The work sessions were just off the charts, incredible, right? Just so good. Nancy, I had the honor, I was on stage with Nancy. There's now marketing, automation. You talked about I Love Lucy, running the conveyor belt. That was 70, 80 years ago. Automation is huge. The chip, the chip directive, initiative is huge. Marketing, transformation. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? Let's go into some of like the higher tech. What are you super excited about with the future of MEP and manufacturing?
Oh my goodness. First, I do want to give a shout out to Carrie Hines and to Pravina Raghavan. Yeah, and absolutely, and Kelly. Oh man, the Carrie and Kelly worked very closely with NIST MEP to put on a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal conference, and it was great for all of us. I got one day in, which was good. And having them work together with Pravina Raghavan, who is the MEP director, and introducing it to our brand new MEP deputy director, Nagesh Rao. I mean, it was great. And it's exactly why we're a network, and how they were able to work together. What I see out there that's really exciting. Oh my gosh, where do I start? We're doing stuff with the we were in a presidential executive order so that the other agencies can work with MEP now to rather than automatically create a waiver and say, oh, it's not made here, to find out where the things that they need are made in the US through the MEP program. So we can have more things bought with your taxpayer dollars made here in the US. That is something that we've been doing it now. It's on a really grand scale through the executive order and with the additional funds that were provided to the MEP centers to allow them to have a focus area, all of them to have a focus area specifically on supplier scouting to find companies right here in the US to make the things that our agencies will buy and may choose to buy outside of the US. And that alone has also made several of the larger companies bring back some of their manufacturing to the US because they say, oh, we're serious about this. They're going to be looking for it to be made, produced in the US, so they're going to source it right here. That to me is very, very exciting. All of the things that, of course, everybody's heard chips, 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 chips. Okay, what is it? What is it? They're just announced a funding opportunity that the suppliers can come together in consortiums to be a part of what's happening in the strengthening, building, and growing of the semiconductor industry here in the U.S. And this is in working with the other parts of our NIST, our Advanced Manufacturing Office, the Manufacturing USA Institutes, of which there are 16 across the country that are all in, I would say, the sexiest of new technologies out there. All the cool stuff. That's what the Manufacturing USA Institutes are. Everything that gets everybody excited. Oh yeah. But first they have to visit the MEP to figure out how to be able to use all those exciting and sexy new technology things. And even things like space manufacturing. I remember as director, I participated out in Boulder uh, with other people across the federal government on what can we do to support commerce. As we go into space, we have this Space Force now. There weren't any women's spacesuits. Okay, that's one. There's a lot of trash up in space that needs to be get. There are lots of opportunities, and MEP is working as part of that group to help those companies that are interested and have products and or want to pivot and go into areas to do those kinds of things. Oh, and then let's talk about workforce. Oh my goodness, there are. Uh, the MEP centers have been doing and supporting, helping smaller manufacturers get the workers that they need, training that they need, connected for as long as they've been out there. It's not been, I would say, not necessarily, okay, lead with that. But when you are reconfiguring your plant floor, or you're trying to lean out your processes, a lot of it has to do with the people that are there. And so the MEP has always done a lot, and now even more so, and a lot of very specific things, internships and connections with different organizations in the area, the prisons, the schools, you know, really reaching out to build that workforce that is needed in manufacturing. Manufacturing Day started as something to help get people aware of the opportunities in manufacturing, and that started with a lot of help from the MEP centers, and even more help is coming on. Their automation, oh my goodness. We've had I remember as director, we would have some staff meetings, not staff meetings, meetings with the centers, and they had robots helping out with the meetings, and you could see it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Or going on plant tours and seeing all of the automation and all of the cobots and everything that that are out there. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then let's talk about the different types of materials that are used, that allow people to do different things. Now this is how you, I mean, I have actually seen everything. I don't think there's anything I have not seen made. I mean, seriously, I've been thinking about it the other day. I went to a company, again, this was another one in Rhode Island, that was using different types of materials to make the seats and rides in amusement parks, so that they could take the deep plunges and scare you half to death. In fact, one of the rides, the seats that people would get, it had 25 speakers that were all around to really immerse you into the sound of the drop of the water, of your screams. And I mean, they're the composites that are out there now, incredible. And then printing, 3D printing, additive manufacturing. You hear a bunch of different kinds of things. There's a place not far from here, a micro factory, Local Motors, that actually printed a car. They print cars. They printed a bus, autonomous. These things then run by themselves. I mean, I can't. I'm about to go out to California and San Francisco next week, and I'm a little nervous because there autonomous vehicles. I understand all the taxis are supposed to be that. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can do that. But if I see it made, maybe I can handle that. But I mean, this is everything that MEP, and I haven't even touched on stuff, but even more.
So awesome. So awesome. Listen, Carroll, because your enthusiasm is infectious for manufacturing. And I love that. I love that because it is, as you listen to you and you think about our world, everything we touch just about was manufactured.
Yep.
And it came from somewhere. And there's a story behind it. And when you think to what you said earlier, most of the manufacturers are 25 people and under. It's the company that's right down the street from you. And you don't even know it. That's the thing that just amazes me every single day when I realize, oh my goodness, they're making that right over there. That's right by me. I didn't know it.
Half the time they don't have a sign out front.
Barely a sign. It's nondescript building.
And that's the thing, like the humility in Carroll. I was just sharing, like, we just did a live stream an hour ago, whatever it was, Damon, a couple hours ago. And it was a manufacturer in Illinois, and the business owner founded in 1997, 27 years. The guy was so humble, so proud. And right on, he said, you know what? Our processes were not good. And right, Damon? It's exactly what he said. Our processes were not good. We had to reach out to the MEP. They came in and just really streamlined the whole process. And so let's go here, Carroll. I know you have another video that we want to share, and I know you are a busy person. I want to keep you all day. Let's get in here and let's go. What are people saying about the MEP? Let's go to this one.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that?
Yes.
And let's go. How about make it bigger, and then let's play.
We went from a 5-figure number in Mexico to a 6-figure number in 1 year. We had a 1,200% growth in our revenues from that export opportunity, and we were submitted without us knowing to the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce and World Trade Week, where we were told, come on down in May, you're going to receive an award. I would encourage anybody to look at the MEP program on a national level and say, where can I get best practices, continuous improvement, efficiencies that reduce my cost? Where can I get greater opportunities to grow my revenues and have a partner that doesn't take a lot out of me to do that? We as Americans ought to be looking at the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. Why don't you come out and visit me so that you can see in real life how we, who put our pants on one leg at a time, do stuff in America using the MEP as an extension of who we are. I get 2 more arms because of MEP. I get 2 more legs because MEP. I get a library that's bigger than, my brain because of MEP.
I would describe our relationship as a trusted business advisor. They're really a partner in our business, in that when we're faced with a new challenge that we don't have the internal resources to tackle, so they really become an extension of our company, an extension of our management team, and really a trusted business advisor and partner to help us to innovate, to become more competitive, to find new markets.
We had the idea that we wanted to grow but didn't know how to. When we started working with MEP, we were a 2-person company, and now currently we have 28 employees. Our annual revenues have gone up roughly 10,000%. MEP's relationship with us has been good for the community because not only have we grown, our suppliers have also grown with us. We influence as many as 200 employees in our community.
Before MEP, we were 2 people working out of a 2-car garage. After MEP, things change. Not only do you grow, but everything around you grows.
And I got a chance to visit a couple of those places. Oh my God, love those hats. Love those hats.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And the burgers are wonderful. Husband and wife owner, and they are, wonderful, wonderful people. Absolutely wonderful people.
Yeah. And there's thousands and thousands of those stories around the country. And hey, Kathy's still here. And I think, Kathy, you're in California. In one community, we did 2 charts, a human body and an airplane, and showed the students and community how many parts and medical solutions were made in their backyard.
That's
and
awesome.
Then,
That's great.
this is a very lean manufacturer, innovative product. So Kathy, thank you again for all that you do to help manufacturers. And again, I think, Carroll, kind of the theme, our manufacturers are the heroes of our economy. They're the backbone. And just, it was unfortunate. Sometimes you have to lose sight of something to realize how much you need to appreciate it. Or when this little thing, I don't know, Carroll, did you hear about this thing called COVID? COVID comes along and, all of a sudden disrupts, and you're like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have ignored this industry as long. So let's go here. How are we doing in time? We've got a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
Carroll, what are you excited about? I mean, boy, this enthusiasm this past hour has just been like, are you ready to run through a wall or what?
Yes. Yes.
Carroll, moving forward, what are you excited about for the future? Young folks, why are all the cool kids going in manufacturing? Why are you just so thrilled on the future of manufacturing?
Well, here's the thing. All right. Now you're going to hear this here first. Between 2009 and now, we lost about 70,000 manufacturers, and a lot had to do with some overseas, to get lower prices. A lot had to do with legacy companies where the family didn't want to take over. Many different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But with all of the new technology, with the need, with the desire to have more things made here in the US, with sort of what they call the expansion. Now, this is something I did read on LinkedIn, and in fact, I reposted it. Manufacturing super cycle. We are going into a manufacturing super cycle because those companies that was too much to lose. 70,000 companies was way too much to lose. And with all the things coming on now, what you have are new manufacturing firms that are being opened up with new technology, with the people already upskilled. They didn't have to be upskilled because you have younger workers that know how to use different types of machinery. Welding is not welding anymore. You now can pre-weld, see what it's going to look like in a digital twin, and then actually go in and do it. And when you do it, you're doing it more efficiently, making sure that everything is correct. It's a way to manufacture and and like do a dry run or a pilot before you actually do it, so that it cuts down on mistakes. It cuts down on time that you may use on making something and then having to remake it, all kinds of things. So this super cycle is going to um, create a clusters around the country that maybe this cluster is very much interested in everything that has to do with medical devices, or with plastics extrusion, and what the extrusion now is, with molds, with one of a kind types of manufacturing. When I had my manufacturing company, it was to make very large wall decor, very, very large, for like, I know I did for University of Pennsylvania oncology ward, for airport, for different types of things. So each piece was different, and you had to do a lot of work beforehand. Now you'd have a CAD CAM setup. You can see what it looks like in advance. As I said, the digital twin, you have it all set up so that when you go to do it, especially those custom things, those very specialized types of things that you're manufacturing, things that take precious metals, titanium and different kinds of things, you don't have as much waste. You have a lot less expenses. You can keep your margins much better, because now you can do it digitally first, and then go ahead and actually do it. And then let's not even talk about what's happening with the artificial intelligence now, that you can bring in someone who knows just a little bit about manufacturing, and help them to learn through artificial intelligence how to do it, and then they can think of how to do it better, and how to do it faster, how to do it cheaper. So now you have the additional brain. Like, you got your brain, and you got that other brain, that's your electronic brain, and your diverse group of colleagues, all working together to solve a problem. It is, I can it's way beyond exciting. It's the kind of thing that, if we have this conversation, I would say in 2026, in October, you're gonna look, oh, we're in the middle of it, this is really happening, and you can't even see an end to it that's happening. I think that the resurgence, or the excitement, I just say excitement about manufacturing, is gathering more steam and spreading out to people who may not have thought of manufacturing before, or only knew a very small part of manufacturing, to see the scope and the breadth and the depth of what's really making something, producing something, what it means. Is it's infecting. It's infecting a lot more people in this country than maybe we had before. It's not just for the engineers anymore. It's for all us designers. It's for everybody. Manufacturing is for everybody, and that's why one of the big reasons why we celebrate Manufacturing Day, always the first Friday in October.
Yeah.
Double mic drop right there. Get double drop, man. All right, Damon.
So
I gotta
good.
go run. I gotta go run through a wall right now. I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
It's a renaissance, right? It's
Yeah.
just a
It is.
renaissance, and you just feel the momentum. And again, Damon, you said it earlier, like, just parlaying all the tools, the resources, the gifts of everybody, right? It's just so exciting. Carroll, what you're describing here, just now. Damon, you heard it. We have this recorded. She's coming back on in October of 26.
Yes.
Right? She'll be on
I
probably
heard it already,
multiple,
yeah.
be on multiple times between now and then. But Carroll,
Yeah.
I heard we have a date, right? You and I have a date, October of 26. You have it on record, so we're gonna have you back, and we're gonna geek out in further. Great comments here today. We've got love the enthusiasm. Nancy,
Yes.
our friend again. Check out Nancy. She's doing Manufacturing Mavericks. check her out of what she's got going on. So Nancy, thank you for all that you're doing. Carroll, let's take it home. We're running down in time. How about Damon? I might go there. I might go there with a baseball question. But anyway, before we get
there,
are you baseball, Carroll?
Yes.
Oh, gotta do it.
Yes.
Carroll, now you're a Maryland gal, if I recall correctly,
Yeah,
right?
But but I'm married to a Yankees fan.
Oh, you're married to a Yankees fan. Okay, Damon, sorry, you can't. Yeah, all right. So, well, the Yankees are not in the playoffs this year, so like we're sitting this one.
But the Orioles are doing really well.
Well, I definitely have been an Orioles fan, Orioles and a National fan. But what was the last game I went to? An Orioles game just a few weeks ago. So, yes, I had to go see it. Well, and it was under the guise of, "Oh, honey, I'm taking you to see the Yankees," but they were playing the Orioles.
playing the Orioles, right? And who made the playoffs, right? Boy,
yeah.
I turned on that one, right? So, hey, Kathy says the Phillies. So, hey, whoever your team is, drop it in the chat.
Yes,
so,
I do like the Phillies because I lived in Philadelphia,
Philly, right?
going to Drexel and everything. Yep.
Yeah. You got a little Philly background. So, Carroll, here's my question for you. Are you ready? Are you sitting down for this one?
All right.
Here we go. Okay. Let's pretend we'll go with the Yankees. Okay, we'll go with the Yankees since you're married to a Yankee fan. So let's say hypothetical. This is just a pure hypothetical. We're asking for a friend. Okay, so it's the bottom of the ninth. There's a runner on second base. Bottom of the ninth. There's 2 outs. It's a tie score, and there's a runner on second base. Okay. The manager for the Yankees is Aaron Boone, and Aaron Boone looks down on the bench and he says, "Hey, Thomas. Carroll, get up to the plate, hit in the winning run, because I've got dinner reservations. I've got to get out. We got to finish this game, for goodness gracious. And the fans are getting unsettled. We need a win. We need that runner to score. Can you please go up and hit the winning run? Okay, you with me?
Okay. All right.
You grab your bat.
Yep.
You're walking to the plate.
Right.
What is your walk-up song?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What is your walk-up song on the way to hit in the winning run for the Yankees? What is Carroll Thomas's walk? Everybody, the MEP network wants to know. So we're dying. Yeah. What is Carroll Thomas's walk-up song?
We are the champions.
We are the champions. Oh, that one. Man, David,
that's a new one. And that's awesome.
Man. Carroll, that was impressive because she didn't know that question was coming. That was a great answer.
Right there.
I know.
And David, did you see the irony? Did you see the irony? The manufacturing queen, who did she pick for a band? Queen. She went with Queen. So, all right. So, guys, we'll wind down. So, Carroll Thomas, thank you. We applaud you. We salute you. We send you tons of love. And we just cannot express our gratitude for your tenacity, your fierce enthusiasm for manufacturing, this wonderful career that you've had. Guys, connect with Carroll on LinkedIn. Check out the MEP network. Check out your local MEP. Most importantly, go out and high five a manufacturer. Just give them a pat on the back. Tell them how awesome they are. Encourage our young folks to get in there. Damon, takeaways from you, dude? What are your thoughts on this program?
I just think this is a great way for us to kick off Manufacturing Month and to be able to talk with you, Carroll, and just feel the enthusiasm that you bring to the table and to manufacturers and your experience and just happy to be able to be here today and celebrate Manufacturing Month.
Thank you, Damon. I could see the excitement in your eyes. I'm like, he's gonna explode if I keep talking like this. And then Kurt's gone. He's done. He's through. Yeah. He's toast. He can't do anything. And from me to everybody, listen, if you know a manufacturer that does not know about MEP, please help them. I mean, truly help them and tell them about the MEP, because we will not be the best kept secret anymore. And if you have a friend that you don't tell them about MEP, they're going to be upset with you if you already know about them and you haven't told them. I'm not kidding you. I'm telling you, if there had been an MEP back then, Carroll would never have gone to QVC, would have never have gone to NIST MEP. I would still be running my plant. Thank you.
Well, you know what? I have one last question for you, Carroll. I have one last question for you. Okay. Great career. You just mentioned National Gallery of Art. You're an entrepreneur, QVC. We've got MEP. You're a supplier. I think what you're a supply chain guru. You're in the supply chain side of things, right? Went to SBDC, back to MEP, became the director. What was the best decision that you made throughout your incredible career? What do you feel was the best decision? And you can be humble, you can be modest, whatever. What do you feel was the best decision that you made through your career?
Well, I think I told you, Curt, that I had a point at QVC where I was a really good buyer. I could really, negotiate a great deal, get a good product and stuff. And I did that with the gentleman where he lost his home and then he committed suicide.
Yep.
I just sat myself down and said, okay, who are you? Alone. Who are you? What is your purpose here in life? And I walked away from a much, much more lucrative position to come to be and be honored to work with what I call the saints, the Manufacturing Extension Partnership network of people in every single center at NIST MEP, and with all of the partners, including NIST, including parts of commerce, including, across the federal government and every single organization out there in the manufacturing ecosystem. Doing that was the best decision I have ever made.
Yeah.
Great. And you know
Thank
what?
you.
So let's be thankful there wasn't an MEP back then, because you brought your superpowers, your talents into the world. And just think of like how many manufacturers that you've had an impact on. And you've shared how like you went to all 50 states, you visited dozens, hundreds, probably, I don't know, thousands, but hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Almost 25,000.
Is it 25,000?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I said.
Awesome.
You don't make anything that I haven't seen.
That's so awesome.
So anyway, I know, like I could keep you here. You and I could chat all day. So, and we won't even get into like that creepy guy that came up, gave you a huge hug at the National MEP conference. We were like, hey, who is this guy? Right. And I just gave her a big bear hug. So anyway,
I was so excited.
We won't even bring that up.
Awesome.
Anyway, we'll wind down. So guys, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being just wonderful guests, your guests in attendance here. Thank you for joining us to hear our guests. Yes. And so thank you. Go out and celebrate Manufacturing Day. Yes. Carroll, thank you. We send tons of love to you. We appreciate you. We're going to have you back over and over again. Guys, just go out and be someone's inspiration, just like our dear friend, this amazing young woman, Alvin's daughter. Just be an inspiration like Alvin's daughter. Damon, take it away.
Wow. That's all I'm going to say. We get lucky here, Curt. You and I get to talk with all these awesome people from manufacturing and how we're celebrating, in Manufacturing Month. But Carroll, it's very special to be able to have you on and talk and hear your enthusiasm and share our passion for manufacturing and why we should be proud of what we can do here in the United States. So absolutely. I want to thank everyone that listened. We had a ton of comments today. If we didn't get to you and get you on the screen, sorry, but we appreciate you. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate the comments. And as Curt said, go out and tell people about this. Tell people about manufacturing. Tell them about Manufacturing Month. Tell young people. Tell people coming out of college. Tell people that want to find a different career about manufacturing, because there's a place for them. So.
Tell retired people. And hey, and we've got the IMEC bus tour. We're going to be live streaming with the IMEC bus tour on Monday at 12:30 Eastern time, 11:30 Central. So we will see you guys on the bus. So, all right.
Yep. And later today, I'm actually doing a webinar on MNI University for manufacturers about keys to building a business someone will actually want to buy. So.
God bless you, brother. So thank you, Damon.
Have a great day, everyone. And we'll be back again.
Hang out with us 1 second, Carroll.